Yeah, another morning drive to work. Boop, 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 boop. I decided to spend a couple minutes to upload, basically schedule another video. I uploaded like 4 videos yesterday. Scheduling them. Now, hell, it might have been more than 4. Once I get going, it's kind of hard to, count and figure out how many I've uploaded by now. But I uploaded one more, and in the description I was explaining something that by the time I recorded that episode and the following day, something happened and it ruined everything. And that was about the Dino Overall X, the doc series I was doing on Evolved. I wanted that series to be strictly 40 episodes. I wanted it to be 40 episodes, and it wasn't 40 episodes. It was actually barely 30 episodes. So it wasn't what I really wanted for that series, because at the time, that was when Aquatica or Arc Aquatica came out, was released, and it basically screwed up everything. And I was, at least in the beginning, when you get towards the end game, you really only have, I only had the Titan Rodan and Titan Overlord to fight. I don't think I had all of the, I didn't think I had the full corrupted set. The actual corrupted set, the corrupted armor. I think I had the corrupted Manicore armor, but I didn't have the actual corrupted armor. I thought about, I did try several times to try and get it, but I couldn't get, all the compies to, work with me. They just would not give me what I wanted. But I did record one more episode, and that episode was the episode of the fights that you guys never got to see that you should have been able to see. And I didn't, so there's only going to be one more episode of that particular series. And needless to say, when I'm not worried about happening to, because this weekend's the last weekend for rifle season. This is the last weekend me and my family can try and get a deer to fill our freezers. If we don't get one, we don't get one. We have to wait basically a month to go out and get, or during doe season, and go get one. Needless to say, when this vlog comes out, this massive stitched up vlog. Pushing the buttons on my memory on my phone here. When I choose to be done recording these vlogs and stitching them all together, I will be a year ahead on videos. I'll have an entire year scheduled, Monday through Friday. Yes, there'll still be random videos. There's still going to be random videos, random uploads. But an entire year will be scheduled. I don't think anyone's done that. I could be wrong. I know there was some people who were, they had content for like 15 years, but that was because of their content. They were hiking a lot. They made a lot of the outdoorsy videos. So I guess when it comes to gaming, maybe I'm ahead of things. I don't know. I don't watch everybody's videos. I only watch the people who I actually enjoy. So it'll probably be one, if not two, maybe 3 streams before the end of this year. Obviously, I'm going to try and enjoy my time off and just try and catch up on sleep as much as possible. But I will do whatever basically I'll do whatever the fuck I want, honestly. If I feel like streaming, I'll stream. If I don't, I don't. Excuse me. I've finally put an end to a series that I talked about in one of the most recent videos. Like, I kind of talked about Elden Ring in one of the earlier vlogs. It's like, when it comes to Elden Ring, yeah, I'm not that good. I'm more of a casual player than I am a full-time player when it comes to that. Because if I was a full-time player and I played Elden Ring all of the time, I would die a hell of a lot less. I would know all of the buffs and react very quickly, and this, that, and whatever. But I'm not. I am average at best, and I die a lot. So I have my good runs, I have my bad runs. And sometimes my bad runs outweigh my good ones. But I made a decision that if I was to stay with the sorceress character that I did the entire series on for Shadow of the Erdtree, which, don't get me wrong, I could. What if I was to change that, go through the entire game again, go through the struggles all over again, and then change the build entirely? So right before I fight Radagon and the Elden Beast, I go right into the Erdtree, Shadow of the Erdtree, and go through that BS and struggle and struggle and struggle until I get my good run. do that. I very well could do that. Maybe I'll go and fight other bosses in other dungeon caves or whatever that I didn't bother to fight before. And maybe go get Ronnie's Dark Moon and try and get my hands on the other spells that I remember. I don't exactly remember how I got them specifically. But sometimes by the end of a run, I end up with spells and I don't remember how I got my hands on them. That's why I remember like a Night Comet or Night Comet Shard. I remember the spell, but I don't remember how I got it. I don't remember how I got it at all. That's the funny part. Be like, how much mischief did I get myself into, and then end up with stuff I don't remember having. Like all the other talismans and stuff that I have for the sorceress character, I never bothered to get them before. Especially on my multiple runs on the PS4 version of Elden Ring when it first came out, when I first played it, to the Xbox One version. I never went after Radagon's fucking seal or Godfrey's icon or whatever. I never went after those talismans. I never went after them. I never bothered to use them. And it's funny when I realized that, because in that sorceress build, that sorceress Yuki build, I thought I was, like, for the longest time, I couldn't, like, respec at all. Like, I was like, what, is there more to Selen's quest that I didn't do, or what? I couldn't respec at all. To change things to make the build that I have better, to make it, proper, as you could say, more useful. And then when I went back, I looked something up, and I was like, you can do it, you just need to fast travel. And I was like, fucker, I fast traveled I don't know how many times in and out of that fucking place, and not a single thing changed. She was still fucking there. And I'm like, what else do I need to do? And I think I even did it in an episode. I fast traveled in and out of there, and it still didn't matter. But I went back, and sure enough, as soon as I spawned in there and the game loaded, I seen Renala in the center where she usually is. Selen was turned into a stone ball. And I got her helmet. The helmet that boosts sorceries and incantations, I think it was what it said. But it reduces stamina. It's funny how I went from the Sword of Night and Flame to Moonveil to using the other rapier with the chill spray Ash of War to build up frost damage. In a lot of cases that worked. And then adding the Dark Moon Greatsword to that, in the end, it was using the Darkmoon Greatsword was the one thing I needed, and it wasn't the Rapier or the Moonveil at all that I needed for that Sorcerer's playthrough. I know I'm going to get my ass kicked when it comes to the Erdtree. The Shadows of the Erdtree. And now that I know about all these additional things that I never bothered to use before, now it feels like I need to go into my original playthrough and be like, alright, gotta go set things up to where I can use these things and yada yada. Or go back to the original build that I had, but make it better. It was still a bleed build, but it had that additional fire damage. And I didn't rely on the Rivers of Blood. But nope, needless to say, how I have things going right now, I've been uploading a lot on my other computer compared to my other one. And I did get my editing software in. I just need a moment to where I could just, when I'm not working on anything and not trying to finish series, like, you know, the finished games, so that way that series is done and over with, that I can sit there and edit one particular series that I was going to chop up regardless, because I've never played Silent Hill 2, the original one. So the remake that I did as Charwolf, my plan was to edit it down, was to take the streams and then edit them down into episodes. That's my plan. Anything else that I record or and stream, I'm probably just gonna upload the streams and just not worry about it. Not worry about cutting them down. I did also get my new router in, and if things keep going like they are, I probably won't be able to set that up until my time off, where I will have time to go back there and unplug a couple things and then plug a bunch of other shit in and then make sure that it works. Or I might say the hell with it and just try it anyway and make time for it, and then hope things go the way I want them to go. router I bought, you know? If you want to know what that router is, maybe I'll tweet it out. So, needless to say, when this video comes out, I might have already posted a picture of it, of what that router is. I know I have a lot of series that I started and started working on and went back to, and always get distracted with other things. I still need to finish the Arc Omega series on Evolved, but I had to like put it aside and focus on the Extinction Core Ascended series. And the only irritating thing I was having on that one is that I couldn't get other bosses to spawn. And then when they did spawn, it happened when I was grinding and just running around the map going on a killing spree. So I never bothered to stop to record it. I just would kill anything that spawned in front of me and just kept going. And I would unlock things that I would like, and then finally notice it, be like, oh, where did that, something must have spawned in front of me when I was killing stuff, and I just was not paying attention. Like, giving it my full attention. Like, I did 2 streams where it was like 3 hours, and I couldn't get stuff to spawn. And then during one of those streams, it might have been the first one, where a Supreme Reaper spawned, and it killed me immediately. And I'm like, God damn. I was going through the tiers, and then I had access to certain kibbles and whatever, and that made me able to tame other things if needed. I could have tamed an Alpha Giga, but none of the Gigas I seen were higher than level 20 to 25. I just killed them for the loot. Like, I had all the loot and stuff needed. There was just other things I just didn't have access to. Like, there was the Omega Dragon that never spawned. So I couldn't fight that. I never got the drop needed from the Omega Broodmother and the Broodmother fights that were in the episodes. I never got the actual drop needed to make the saddle, unlike the Megapithecus one where I got the Paquito saddle. It was frustrating. Don't get me wrong, it was nice to go back to finally see Extinction Core and have it have an ending and have these all additional things. It was nice to learn more about, and it was a hell of a lot of fun. Like, in the end, like, the series is done. It could have been a lot longer than what it was, but I was doing so much grind work that I already had everything. The issue was not getting the other bosses spawned. I was at that point where I just needed to fight bosses. That was it. That was it. That's all I had to do. And not all of the bosses I wanted to spawned. I didn't want to, like, enter a command and force them to spawn. I didn't want to look that nonsense up. I didn't want to do that. That's cheap. So I would go out on killing sprees to the point where there was basically nothing left, and then I would do a dino wipe and just sit there and wait for things to spawn in. I spent so many hours fucking just AFKing, waiting for things to spawn in, and then I would redo the whole spree again. I thought I would, like, with that series, if I just kept doing that repeating, not same thing, like on repeat, like I felt like the series would be dragged on more longer and longer and longer if I kept doing that just to try and force these bosses to spawn in order for me to fight them. Because I did at the time and got my access to my own Supreme Reaper, and in case that Reaper died, I had 2 more Alpha Reapers in backup, because I went through that process to make sure if that one Supreme Alpha Reaper died, I had backup. I had backups. Because I only had one decent trike. I only had one Rex. So that's all I had. And when it came to the Stellar, Thyla, and Spino, you have to weaken them. You have to weaken them to a certain point. I don't remember what it was. And that was a painful fucking process, because they could kill you in one shot if you're not careful. Just to tame them, because they are tameable. But in order to get their saddle, you have to kill them. That's the only way. Same thing with the Supreme Trike and Supreme Rex. When they spawn in, you have to kill them in order to get access to their saddles. Spent so many hours grinding during that playthrough that when I did get the kills on certain things that spawned and I gained access to things, I'm like, well, damn it, I should have been recording when I would do these runs, do these killing sprees. That's what I would do when I would play Ark Evolved a lot, when I would do modded runs. Modded playthroughs, I would just run around, just kill things, and hope brand new things spawn. Hope that what I'm looking for spawns in. And I would spend a lot of time doing it. A lot of time. And I would just talk about random shit as I do it. I decided to cut back on a lot of those kind of uploads and just not record hours and hours and hours of grinding and killing sprees and shit like that, and just keep grinding. But when I decided to end that series, I did what I had to do, and I took my best guys, and the only one that didn't end up joining the fight was the Supreme Reaper. And there was one thing I had to redo twice. I had to do twice, and that was the Dodo Rex, the boss that you have to fight, and then you get a tameable version. Yeah, I had to do that twice, because I ended up killing it, both versions, the boss and the tameable version. And yeah, the only thing that didn't join that final boss fight was the Supreme Reaper. And I didn't expect it to have that final boss to have like another stage. I didn't expect that. And I'm like, well, this is a surprise. And all of a sudden it went from, I think like a couple of them like died almost immediately. And I think it was the Primordial Spooter died almost immediately. Then the Spino, then the Thyla, and then Bakito died. Somehow in that fight, the Trike that I had, the Evolved Trike that I had, and the Evolved Rex that I had, and the one that the Dodo Rex one that I was riding, the Darkness, were the only survivors in that final boss fight. And I think the Trike had barely, might have had like 200k health left, and the Rex probably still had like a couple million health left. But I thought everybody was dead, because I didn't see if the Rex was still alive or if the Trike was still alive. I thought it was just me and my Darkness, my Dodo Rex, was still alive. I thought everybody else was dead. Until I moved, and when I moved, that's when I seen the Trike and the Dodo Rex, and the Rex still there. So it was, to be honest, it was a fun fight. Unlike the original, it was a fun fight. I don't know if I'll get my chance to see the FNAF 2 movie. I don't know if I'll get my chance, but I hope I do. I don't want to wait till it comes out on DVD. I really don't want to. I want to go see that in theaters. But no, my intention is to play Lost Colony. Go back to vanilla and play Lost Colony. Which means I'm going to be resetting my settings to back to default settings, and the only thing I might change will be I might up the taming settings a bit, and I obviously will get the mating stuff to where I want it, to make it a little easier to breed a little quicker. I did notice too, when I was uploading certain creatures that I got during the Extinction Core Ascended series, like the Elder Claws, the Ocidons, the Balewinds, the Drakelings, which I didn't get all the Drakelings, I got a couple of them, and the god damn it, what was the other one? Oh, the shitty Pyromane. I don't care for the Pyromane. Shadowmanes rule. I prefer the Shadowmanes because you can actually get around the map with the fucking Shadowmane. You can't do it with the Pyramane. You can't. Shadowmanes are top. They are the best. Shadowmanes are the best. I don't care what anyone says. Oh yeah, with the Pyramane you can light campfires and shit like that. Nah, that's nah. You know how I can easily do that? Hit the E button. There you go. Make sure it has fuel and hit the E button. I don't need a stupid cat to do that for me. I prefer the Shadowmanes. Shadowmanes are the best. Anyone who just I don't care for the Pyromanes. I don't. I think the Pyromane that I had tamed during that playthrough was like a level 90, 95. I didn't care about taming a stronger one because I just didn't care for it. It was just something I wanted to see if it can handle modded creatures. Yes or no? Not really. But anyway, I've got work to do. I'll see you in the next vlog. I think I might record one or two more before I merge everything together. Peace.